Welcome back to my Learning to Wing It series, where we use this sweater as inspiration to make our own sweater without a pattern. This is part 4. Last time I'd finally gotten the torso exactly the way I wanted it to be, so I just continued that on. For the colors, I just did whatever made me happy. I did the base for the arms just like I did the base for the torso. Just remember to drop down and pick up that center piece if you're closing up the gaps. Speaking of gaps, you're going to have 2 corners to fill. You can do this different ways, but I did it with 2 double crochets into that point, so into that one stitch, but I did the double crochet through the side of the first double crochet so that they didn't have a gap between them. And it seemed to work out pretty well. I like the results of it. You can also shore up any gaps when you weave in your ends as well. I followed the exact same colored pattern as I did on the torso, and I made all of my beginning and endings for my rows underneath the arm because it probably won't be perfect, so at least it'll be less visible. Everything seemed to be coming together great until I tried it on and realized that those arms were way too small. It had a very Snow White look to it, so I ended up taking that off and redoing it with wider arms, which I liked a lot better, and it was a lot easier to put on. You can easily make the torso and the arms smaller or bigger just by adding extra stitches or taking away stitches on that base at the end of the yoke. I did the same number of rows on the sleeves as I did on the torso for 3/4 length sleeves, but you could make them longer if you want to. Here you just go ahead and weave in all your ends, and it's time for the magic to happen. I decided to cinch the sleeves up but leave the waist straight. So we're going to do the exact same ribbing as we did on the neck. We're going to do that on the waist. But on the sleeves, we're going to do something different. We're going to do an elastic stitch. There's a 1-minute video for how to do an elastic stitch on my YouTube channel, and I'll try to link that for you. The only thing I did differently was I connected it in the back loop only so that you could get that ridge right there. It stretches really nicely. To cinch up the sleeves, I did a single crochet into each of the chain 1 gaps below. So you're basically cutting your stitches in half. And then I did a second row where I did a single crochet into each one of those single crochets just to make sure that that gather was nice and tight. I built my rib stitch from that and then connected only into the back loop as I turned and went back up and down. I didn't do any gathering at the waist, but I did have to adjust my stitches so that it would lay flat. I left a long tail on all 3 so that I could just use a mattress stitch to sew up those edges and close it up. And then you are all done. And here's how it looks. I hope this gives you the courage to just go for it and make a sweater or anything you want just by winging it. You will learn so much during the journey. Have fun.